Okay, now we are on episode 17. So, um, let's see. Oh yes, they wake up. They wake up from the I guess one of the sleeping bags, or they were just laying on the mountain, and they were waking up, and they had a conversation about let's Steven's like saying, "Well, come on, my diamond friends, let's continue our quest." And they still have I mean, no, they're no longer tired, but they immediately followed Steven, and as they soon went on their quest, they had a conversation about Pearl Diamond saying to Steven, um, or Pearl Diamond saying to Teal Diamond, Teal, do you know where uh Teal, do you know where you're going, or do you know where you're gonna take us to? And then Steve, and then she was, and then Teal is saying, "Oh, trust me, I'm a good expert. I'm a good flying diamond expert." And as she flies off, she then begins to find some. Oh yes, as she says, it takes a while, but she then spies on it and looks at it and looks. There's a castle there, and Steven's saying, "You did you find it?" And she said, and she gets a signal yes, and he is like, and Steven's like, finally. And then they will, and then they, as they during a walk there, they then sing a song as they walk up there to because it's like teamwork, not like the Odyssey, the Wizard of Oz. No, not like that. As a matter of fact, that once he gets the fourth character, it's gonna be like um um it's like the four characters, the four main characters of Wizard of Oz, except for that dog. Well, the creature could be the dog, but it's not based on Wizard of Oz. Okay. Anyway, um, as they walk up there, they see that it is dangerous, and they see like a bridge there, like over the lava and track, but it's actually just cliffs. It's like air, and it's just like a lead to another cliff of where the castle is at. And then, as they try to walk through, as they try to but Steven and the other diamonds, like, they wanted Steven to get across, but because Pearl Diamond knows how to. Actually, no. Here's what happened. Pearl Diamond and Teal Diamond, she used the shadow thing to sneak up there, and Teal Diamond just flew over there. And Steven didn't know what to do. He tried to figure it out what to do. So he basically, Purple Diamond was like saying, "Have you tried? Haven't you tried using that slow motion powers that go fast?" And Steven's saying, "Yes, but then I'll fall in slow motion." And then let's see. So Steven, actually, wait a minute. Taylor like, "Oh, a minute," and so then she flies him over there, or maybe that scene never happened. Maybe Steven, maybe they just went over there, and she just took Steven over there without Steven knowing how to go through it because it makes more sense. They then go into the castle, and they see nothing. They see there. It's dark and. Or maybe it would be funny, like the reference to Shrek. I mean, another reference to Shrek that. Well, of course, this episode is a reference to Shrek, like the castle and the getting across thing. But Fräulein was then asking Steven, "So where is? So where was the person we were looking for at? Oh, so where we find the room where is at?" Like the person, whatever she calls it. And Steven says, inside, waiting for us to rescue her. And then Pearl Diamond said, I was talking about the creature, Steven. And then, as they walked in, the screen then fades in, like the Shrek, into a dark castle. And as they walk in, they see that the floors are cracked up, and they try to stay as quiet as possible. Steven then said to Teal, can you fly up there? And do you see any distance? And do you see the monster from up there? And or Pearl Diamond earlier would say, I was talking about the monster, Steven. But as she flies up, Teal Diamond then says, affirmative. And then she flies up there and she looks and sees nothing. And she says, there's nothing up here. Or she gives him a signal, no. So then, let's see. Steven then tries to tell Pearl Diamond, how about you go over there in the rooms and see if the monster is there, like, and you will tell us. And she's like, okay, yes, me, yes, I'll do it. Hup too, that's what I do. Right. And then Steven and Teal Diamond are walking away while Pearl Diamond is walking. The next scene shows Pearl Diamond opening a big door, and then she tells herself about, don't worry, I'm master of the stairs. Something like that. Strict to the curve, don't mess with me. I'm the master of stairs. I'm the master diamond. No one steps on me, I'll step all over on them. I'll step on them, something like that. And then there was an eye behind, and in the eye was, as Furlan stops, the eye opens behind her. The giant eye opens behind her. And then Teal Diamond was as they were walking up to inside another rooms of the tower, while they were on the floor, the outside of the floor castle. Teal Diamond was then saying to Steven, Steven, look. And then Steven said, oh, guess we know where Pentanite is. But where's the... And then Pearl Diamond said, monster! Ah! And then as they were running, they tried to stop, and then Steven's like, hey, come on, Diamonds, let's do this. Let's do this thing, try to take this monster down. And then they try to do that, and as they were attacking, Pearl Diamond then used a tornado. But then, the problem was that it is an old castle. Actually, Pearl Diamond says, how about I use that's it, I'm gonna use a tornado. And then Steven said, wait, Teal, no. And Teal stopped. She's like, what is it, Steven? Don't you see what can't... Because the reason why she's angry, and not really angry, but she's yelling because they're busy fighting. Steven is saying that if you use the tornado, you're going to tear up the whole old castle, and then we could fall down from the cliff. And then, that's what Steven was saying, and then Teal Diamond was like, okay, I won't do it. I'll just use Wind Slash. And then she was hurting the monster and just scratching the monster with and then just using and pushing it with wind. Pearl Diamond then used dark magic to trip it over. And while that was happening, Steven then tries to use a shield to push up the foot, while Pearl Diamond is using the spear at under the toes. And Teal Diamond is using is using the wind, or no, she would use a giant wind fist, and punch the monster down, and it fell down on the floor, and then the three gems just cheered on with joy and shouting out their victory. And then Roland was like, guys, remember, Pencil died, we gotta focus on her. Or maybe Teal would more likely say that, like, guys, Pencil died, remember? And then Steven said, okay, come on, Diamonds. And as they were on their way walking, that ends the episode. So, stay tuned for another important episode. Bye.